Lieutenant Governor Russ Morasti delivered the government's throne speech to members who sat at desks with plexiglass shields. The government said its top priority for the two-week fall sitting is reducing the spread of COVID-19. In the speech, the government thanked those in the healthcare sector, workers, educators, and first responders. As for those COVID case numbers that continue to rise, Premier Scott Moe says he expects that trend to continue for the short term.
I think we will be able to trend the numbers downward over the course of the next number of weeks. But in saying that, we are going to have a few weeks of what I believe will be sustained higher numbers as we work our way through these new provisions that have been put in place. These provisions that are, in my view, very balanced but very measured and will be effective in controlling the spread of COVID-19, but most certainly do allow us to have some degree of activity and some degree of movement throughout our community.
Moe says in order for the curve to bend, the public needs to follow rules and guidelines.
The best thing that we can all do to support those that are working in our healthcare system, those that are working in the front lines of our schools, those that are working as contact tracers, as testers across this province and working awfully hard the last couple of weeks and likely going to be working awfully hard for the next number of weeks, is to pay attention to the public health orders that we have had in place and to pay attention to the new public health recommendations and orders that came into place last week.
As for the speech itself, the government also promised to keep its election commitments, which include a 10% rebate on Sask power bills, as well as a home renovation tax credit and reducing the small business tax rate to zero, among others. The NDP says there were several key components missing from the throne speech, including immediate needs for the healthcare sector, education, and other areas hit hard by the pandemic.
Nothing to support folks living in vulnerable situations, people living in poverty, to address the overdose crisis that has gone along with COVID-19, and nothing to support small businesses who are wondering whether they're going to be able to keep their doors open at this really difficult time.
Premier Moe once again left the door open to increasing private gathering limits in time for Christmas. Ryan Miley says that any decision should be based on data and not politics. The current restrictions expire on December 17th. Adam Hunter, CBC News, Regina.